Guys, do you have any questions? So if you have any open questions, we'll discuss. So if not, we'll go ahead. Anybody have open questions? So we had two sessions on demo, right? So if you have any open questions, we'll discuss. If not, then we'll go ahead.
Yeah, Venkat, this is Shiva here. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Shiva, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm from the TIPCO background,
Okay.
and how it relates to this is
Yeah.
MuleSoft.
Yes, actually, it's almost even TIPCO also. It's a middleware tool only, right? So it's
Yeah.
like a TIPCO only. In TIPCO also, there are transformers to convert data from one format to another format, right? It's almost similar only, but
Mm.
here uh, basic Java is required. The collections concept is required. So except that remaining almost are same only. So here what all the components are built in using Java code itself. Okay, so it's almost like so whatever the middlewares like TIPCO and web methods and then Oracle Fusion. So if you are aware of any other middleware, so it's like a same as other middleware, but so compared to other middlewares, so MuleSoft have lot of connectors and then even trendy connectors, whatever the latest technology in the market, that connector already there in the MuleSoft. That is one thing. Another one is a freeware compared to others. So and I mean both the editions are there actually. There's a community edition as well as enterprise edition. Both the editions are there. So based on the client requirement, so which one is client will prefer? So might be if client is might be they have any cost cutting kind of thing, so they will go for community edition. So community editions also it will support almost all the connectors, but some of the connectors are not supported. Okay, so if you go for client will preferred enterprise edition, there is no restriction. All the connectors we can use it actually. There is a two editions available in the market, and then if client will choose community edition, no need to pay single penny to the MuleSoft. If client will prefer so enterprise edition, so some amount is need to pay to the MuleSoft actually for supporting for some connectors are we need to subscribe it actually. So that's why we need to pay for that. That is one thing. Another thing is it's a high visibility of servers actually. So servers, there is no downtime at all actually. So client will generally will prefer the high visibility servers, right? So here we can deploy it in the on-premises servers as well as cloud, and then standalone servers actually in our local. If you want to do it, you can do it actually. There is a different ways of deployments are there. So that's why nowadays people are preferred MuleSoft actually. So there is a lot of advantages are there compared to other middlewares.
Okay. So as a MuleSoft developer,
Okay.
what we need to know, what we need to do work on the development.
Here actually there is no admin and developers separately actually.
Okay.
I didn't see like so if you see any other applications like if you take CRM applications like Salesforce is one of the CRM applications, right? Customer relation management application. In that
Mm.
there is a admin is there as well as developer is there actually. But here it is not like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
As a developer, we can do admin side also actually. Why? Because uh, admin side part here, we need to deploy the application, and then any issues in the server, then we have to go and login into the through MMC server. There is here two types of servers are there actually. One is standalone server as well as there is a MMC server, Mule Management Console. It's not a server actually. For deploying applications, they provide one application. Okay, that is nothing but a Mule Management Console, MMC server. You can call it as. We can log in into the MMC, then we can see GUI mode actually. From there, we can deploy the application. We can monitor the logs. We can analyze the flows. So whatever the generally backend will log in into that, right? Generally, suppose forget that MMC. Generally, if you deploy the application into the some Tomcat, right? There is a server, WebLogic server, Tomcat server, JBoss, like that. We have a servers in the market, right? If you deploy your application, then
Venkat,
yeah, go.
just a second. This is Nivas.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, we thought we were actually waiting here and we thought the session has not started yet. So we have Sudhakar, Tirish, Gopi. Venkat, how long was the
Started just 6:34, I guess. 10 minutes back it started.
okay?
That too, actually, somebody have open questions so that I'm answering that questions actually.
Okay, okay. So Venkat, for the other integration tool, normally we have separate, like developer and the admin.
Yes.
For the admin, we have to build a separate servers and we can deploy to GUI and the
Hmm.
console mode.
Hmm.
So for this MuleSoft, there is no separate admin role like that.
Uh, uh, Actually, for learning purpose, there is no separate actually, but generally, if other admins like Tomcat admin or else WebLogic admin, so they can act as a Mule admin also. Actually, there is no separate learning things. Actually, whatever developer will know, same thing admin also will know. But apart from that, so how to monitor the logs, how to analyze the flows compared to admin, we'll know more than that actually. That's what I'm trying to say here actually. Here, see, if you log in into the MMC Mule Management Console, they provide everything there actually. So how each flow is performing. So how many transactions are coming, how it will serving. So what was the graph it is. So the CPU utilization, everything they already provide into the MMC. So just we need to log in into that. Just we need to observe it actually. So that's what I'm trying to say here. There is no separate admin learning kind of thing actually. As a developer, we can act as a admin side also. Anything, any issue will occur in the server side. So we'll log in into that. We'll work on it actually. But I heard like other admins like Salesforce admin. If you take Salesforce admin, what Salesforce admin will do, he will do the deployments, he will add the new users, he will delete the user, he will edit the existing user. That type of role he will act actually. But here that is not there in the MuleSoft actually.
Okay.
And
Venkat,
yeah.
yeah. So coming to this community version, if a client goes with the community version, what about the support in case of any product issues? Will there be a
Yes.
support from MuleSoft or do they have to?
No, that's what actually here if you go for community edition, we won't get any support from the MuleSoft. There is no responsibility from their end actually. That too, if you see in Git repository, whole code is available in the Git itself actually. If you search in the Google, whatever the component, suppose if you take, suppose I want to implement the Salesforce integration. Okay, Salesforce people, they exposed as a API. We are trying to consume it using that Salesforce connector, okay, from MuleSoft. So, but if you go for community edition, so they won't responsible for that actually. If whatever the code you are using, whatever the connector you are using, they won't give any responsibility. That's whole responsibility ourselves. Anything goes wrong, server is suddenly down, they won't give any responsibility. That is about community edition. If you go for enterprise edition, then so 24 by 7, they will give support actually based on our package, which package we are brought it, right? So client will brought it, right? Based on the generally how it will happen, they will give some user actually. Okay, so suppose if I choose enterprise edition from the MuleSoft, they will share some user actually. Whenever you have a questions, we will raise a request actually. In that priority also, that P1, P2, P3 like that, based on the priority of your question, so then they will respond accordingly.
Okay. Yeah, one more question.
Yes.
When there are two options of deploying this MuleSoft application, one is on-premise and other one is a cloud.
Yes.
So for the cloud, they offer a free service, or again it has to be charged for the customer,
No, it's a
cloud
charge.
based
It's a charge.
charge. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so the license is cost is separate if you go for enterprise edition, and the platform is separate, right? The cost
Yes.
would be.
Actually, yes. Actually, here,
Okay.
um, actually, there is so many things provided by the MuleSoft actually. Uh,
Okay.
there is an Anypoint manager is there. If you log in into that Anypoint manager, they will provide the cloud deployment. They will provide the Anypoint MQ. If you want to use Anypoint MQ, so generally we have it in the market freewares like
IBM.
Active MQ. Yes, exactly. Active MQ, Rabbit MQ, IBM. So this is, we have so many queuing mechanisms are there. So even MuleSoft
Mm.
also will provide that queuing mechanism. That queuing mechanism they will provide that cloud deployment, and then they will provide some RAML editor for implementing the RAML. So there is a concept called RAML here for REST APIs. So the RAML will use for documentation and validation purpose. That editor also they will provide actually. So these all package will get it actually if you log in into the Anypoint
Okay.
manager. For that we need to get that approval, that user ID password.
Okay. And one more thing is in the runtime, we want to see that how many different integrations are executed for so and so date and so and so time, and what are the failures and those things. So the admin console, which you mentioned, that MNC server, that
Yeah.
will give that access to check that transaction status also, is
Yes,
it?
exactly. Everything. So we can still we can see the graph also how each flow actually suppose in our application a lot of 100 200 flows are there. Each flow how it will perform, what was the CPU utilization, how it will responding for each request. So okay, how much time it was taking. We can clearly check in the MMC console, Mule Management Console.
Okay.
So that
So
too that
all this
is,
info,
yeah,
yeah, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
that will provide based on role based actually. Suppose I have an administrator, I can add other roles also, other people also. So if you give only monitoring role, he can only check the monitoring part. He can able to see the server log. He can able to the, if you give the deployment role, he can able to deploy the application. That way role based I mean role based also there in the MMC. Go ahead for next
Okay.
question. So, guys, can you please, other people, can you mute it, mute yourself, please? Because this is a recording session. I have to share the end of the session, this recording to all. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Ramu.
Yeah. Yeah, and the next one is this Anypoint use any traditional databases, or it has its own inbuilt database, which is which will where the transactions and all the data will be captured in the
No, it's
runtime.
not there any own database actually. It's like a editor. It's like a Eclipse.
Data.
You are aware of
Okay.
Eclipse, right? Java
Yeah. Yeah.
will write the Java code and all that. It's like a
Okay.
IDE. That's it. So, but compared to Eclipse, what was the advantage here? Internally, it will come up with a Jetty server. There is a Jetty server, is a lightweight server is there, right? So that will come up with a Jetty server. So generally, if you use a Eclipse, if you want to deploy your web application, we need to add Tomcat plugin to the Eclipse, right? So,
Okay.
but here that is not required. So, Anypoint Studio, what they did exactly? So they took the, I mean, in Eclipse is the freeware, right? We can do modification also in the Eclipse actually. So the code will already there in the Git actually. If you want to edit that code actually, if you want to add a new plugin, if you want to build some separate plugin for Eclipse, then we can build that plugin. We can add it actually. So it's a freeware. So anybody can do
Okay.
modification. So what these people did, they took the basic version of the Eclipse. Okay. On top of that, they implement Anypoint Studio. Okay, and then so generally, if you go for Eclipse, we need to add that server plugin. But whereas so already they added a Jetty server plugin internally. So whenever you configure that Anypoint Studio, that will come automatically with Anypoint Studio. No need to add that separate plugin to the Anypoint Studio. That automatically it will come.
Okay.
So whenever you deploy the application, so that will go on deploy into the Jetty server. Why they did Jetty server only? Why they didn't use other servers? Because compared to Jetty server, other servers, Jetty server is a lightweight server actually. That's why they use a lightweight server. They plugged it in already. If you try to deploy your application, it will go and deploy into the Jetty server. Whenever you try to deploy your application, so it will go and deploy into the Jetty server. So that's why they used that plugin.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Last question, one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So compared to the enterprise edition and the community version, only a few connectors will not be available in the community version. Apart from that, any other transformers will be missing in the freeway? Freeway.
No, actually, only connectors. Only connectors. Some of the
Okay.
major connectors like Hadoop. So there is a HBase connector is there, the Hadoop connector, and then Salesforce connector. So that the major integration connectors are there. That was not there. So, but here there is no restriction actually. If you want to suppose Salesforce connector is not supporting the community edition, but what we can do it, so we can implement our own custom connector that facility provided by MuleSoft actually. So there is a dev kit connector concept is there actually. So you can create your own custom connector. Suppose think like this, so I'm working in a particular company. I want to create my own connector for my company. So same requirement, so many people will use it. Okay, suppose database. Think like this, there is a our own database is there. So in my company, I want to implement, I want to connect that database. So there is no connector in the MuleSoft. So you can implement your own connector. Okay, so that is whole Java code only. You can implement your custom connector. So that custom connector you can plug in into your Anypoint Studio. You can share to the other people also. So suppose I'm working for a Cisco have own database. Think like that. So it's not having any database. Just for examples purpose I'm saying Cisco have, otherwise I can say like I already implemented one of the custom connector actually. If you see, there is a Hadoop database, right? On the Hadoop, we can't able to edit the data in the Hadoop system actually. Just we dump the data into the Hadoop system. I mean, so, but if you want to edit that on top of the Hadoop, there is a one more database called, one more layer called MapRDB. There is a concept called MapRDB that is a layer on top of the Hadoop actually. If you want to edit any data in the Hadoop, you can use that MapRDB, you can do it actually. Okay. So for that connection, for that connecting to the MapRDB, there is no connector in the MuleSoft. So what we did, we implement a custom connector for connecting to the MapRDB database, then we can play accordingly. So once you've done that, so it's a whole Java code. You can create it as a plugin. You can share to other people also. What they will do, so whenever they want to connect MapRDB databases, MapRDB database, they can add our plugin, Java code as a plugin. They can add, so there is an option called here, you can add new plugins here. Help, so new softwares, install new softwares. So the option is there actually. We can add that plugin into their Anypoint Studio actually. So that facility also there is no restriction. If you want to implement your own custom connector, you can go ahead and we can implement that type of facility they provided if you are using a still custom community edition.
Okay.
But we can't able to expect the support. That's some main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys,
So
any
Venkat,
other
we need the
questions?
Java knowledge. We need the Java knowledge also.
See, in worst cases we should require. Why? Because see, generally if you see here, can you see my screen, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to open the sample. So you guys don't worry, I will explain each and everything. So first day, today is the first day actually. I will try to clarify all the questions. So nobody should, before going to start the sessions, nobody should not have any questions. That's why I'm trying to say, I'm trying to explain all the questions. So this is the existing connectors, actually existing connectors, transformers, scopes. You can see the symbols here. Can you see my screen, right? So here, coming to your question, so only connectors, I mean, only connectors are the restrictions actually. Apart from that, sorry, your question is customization, right? Yeah, if you
Yeah.
see here, if you see here, for almost all, we have a transformers are there for converting data one format to another format. See, these are the transformers. If you see list of transformers are there, so many transformers are there. In worst case, suppose client was asking more customization. Okay, so if it is not support, then whatever the technology you are familiar, not only Java actually. If you are familiar with Java, then fine actually. There is a Java transformer is there. You can drag and drop the transformer, you can implement the Java code. Suppose I am not familiar with the Java code. I don't know about ABCD in the Java. So then I am aware about Groovy script. So then drag and drop the Groovy script. You can write your whatever the customization was asking about client, right? You can write in the Groovy script. So similarly, there is one more script called Python script. So like that, whatever the language you are familiar, that type of transformer is there actually. So using the transformer, we can achieve it actually.
Okay.
So coming to Java, so in Java also, it's a plain Java code is that collections concept here. That collections concept is enough. So why? Because here, so we are getting some data, we are getting some data from the source system. Okay, target system is expecting some other format. Suppose you are getting a JSON format. Okay, so because people will prefer always JSON, it's a lightweight. Okay, so we are getting a JSON format. Okay, we are so whatever the target system, it was expecting some object. So further, so we have some object called some transformer called JSON to object. JSON to object that is already there. If it is not there, then what we need to do? So we have to use the transformer. We have to use the transformer. Suppose so there is a Java transformer is there. So that Java transformer we need to drag and drop it. So then we need to write the code inside that actually. That too it's a collections concept is enough actually. The class we need to take it actually. The class, in the class we need to write what was the data we are getting, what type of conversion we need to do. That we need to achieve in the Java transformer. So it's a collections concept is enough. So whenever required, I will try to explain that part also. The Woods basics and then collections is required for this.
Hello, Venkat.
Yeah.
Venkat, can I use any other programming language like C Sharp, C++,
Yes,
so
you
instead
can
of
use it.
Java?
Yes, you can use it.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Guys, any other questions?
And this class is going to be only weekdays or weekends also?
No, no, no. It's weekdays only.
Okay.
I mean, 6 days a week. Only Sunday, it won't be there. Monday to Saturday classes are there. 6 days in a week.
Okay.
If you don't have any questions, we'll start today how we'll set up this Anypoint Studio and all. I will try to explain this part.
So,
So,
sir, one question.
yeah, go ahead.
From the site MuleSoft, we can get the community edition, but do you have the enterprise edition? Can you share those? Because we do not have all connectors available in the community edition.
No, no, no. See, that's what actually, until 1 month you can use it. Until 1 month, you can use it, all the connectors and all. After that, it won't be there actually. It will give some issues while using a enterprise connectors. So suppose you download, today we'll download that Anypoint Studio from the MuleSoft. Until 1 month you can use any connector, there is no restriction. After 1 month, it's a trial version of until 1 month. So after 1 month, that restriction will come. So that Salesforce connector, some of the connectors we can't able to use it. Some of the licensed connectors. For practice purpose, see, suppose now I download that Anypoint Studio. So after 1 month, so I can't able to use some of the connectors. What we'll do, just again download it, or else whatever the existing download, right? Once you download, we'll get a zip portion. Okay. So now I will unzip it. I'm using now, right? So after some days, again whatever the unzipped content, remove it. Zip. From existing zip content, unzip it once again. Use it. No need to download once
Okay.
again. Also. You understood, right? What I'm saying?
Yeah, got it.
That's it.
Uh, One more question.
Yeah, go
When
ahead.
we are using the trial time, that 30 days for the enterprise connection,
Okay.
during that time also they will provide the support or not?
Who
Any
will?
connection, any connectors issues?
Actually here, sorry. See, that's what actually they won't give any support until you choose the enterprise edition. But we have a lot of MuleSoft blogs are there. There is no worry about that. Lot of blogs are there.
Okay.
Some kind of it's some in the blogs also some challenges are there actually. You can post your questions. So many people will respond.
Okay.
I'll show you. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
You can see here actually. So if you post your question, so many people will respond actually. There is a champions one concept is there here actually. You will get some kind of MuleSoft products also if you answer multiple questions. Okay. So see, you can see here actually all questions, unanswered questions, community articles, videos and all. So if you answer, see these people are answered some of the questions, right? Only one questions answered. if you answered most of the questions also will get some kind of skew symbol, some kind of this type of MuleSoft t-shirt. So we'll get that type of thing actually. So coming to your question actually, so if you are facing any issue, so the lot of blogs are there, communities are there, MuleSoft community, you can post it, you can get the answer. But if it is in a community edition, if you are using enterprise edition, anyway we'll get the support from the directly from MuleSoft itself. You can see here actually questions 15,405, answered 35,000 something is there actually here. Contributing members 10,000 people are there. You can simply go on here and whatever the question you have, so just type here, so then ask it question. Okay, so any other questions? Yeah, see here, this is the way to download the Anypoint Studio. Okay, so this is the URL. We'll try to ping in chart. So first we need to download this Anypoint Studio. What was the purpose of Anypoint Studio here? It's like a Eclipse. For developing the code, we have to use Eclipse, this Anypoint Studio. So first we need to download this. So for this, we need to fill some of the information here. So there is an option called Download Studio. Click the Download Studio. It will ask some information. See this here, clearly they are saying download 30-day trial, free trial version. So we need to fill at least genuine information for phone and email ID actually. Remaining we can so keep it some fake information, but so email and phone number give proper information, because sometimes we get some kind of OTP, some kind of alerts will get it actually. So for so that we need to give proper information. Once enter some proper information, click download. It will ask what operating system you are using. If you are using Windows, then download the Windows specific. If you are using some any other operating system, that specific download option is there. So try to click it and then we'll get that option. So now latest version of Anypoint Studio is almost, that is 6.2.5 something actually. You can see here actually, once you download that, we'll get like this. The content will look like this. Is the Anypoint Studio. This is unzipped content actually. We'll get like this. 64-bit 6.2.0. We'll get date also. If you can see the date also, 2016 something like that. So this is the zipped content. What we need to do? So there is no installation actually. Just we need to configure it. So for that, so this is the zipped content. Go on here, use some any software for unzip. Either you can use 7-zip or else some WinZip softwares are there, right? So using that softwares, you can unzip it. You can extract that content. You will get like this. So try to open this Anypoint Studio, and here is the Anypoint Studio shortcut is there. The exe file is there. We need to double click on that, then it will start. So before doing this, so Java should be there. Java software should be there in your machine. That too, it's equal to 1.7 or else more than 1.7 required actually. So it won't support less than 1.7 like 1.6, 1.5. So Anypoint Studio should not support for this version. So should be equal to 1.7 or else greater than 1.7. It's better to use 1.8. Nowadays people are using 1.8 version, Java version. So that should be there in your mission before doing this, before doing configure Anypoint Studio. That is the thing. Okay, so this is a shortcut. So if you double click on this, you will get like this window. So here it was asking about workspace, guys. So workspace in the sense, so where when I create a project, right, so that will come and store into the this folder. It's kind of a folder. You can create some folder, or else by default, whatever the user in your machine, right, under that user it will come by default. So if you want to create a separate workspace for you, you can create a folder. Then you can choose here. Actually, there is a browse option. You can choose that particular folder. Then you can click OK. So then it will open like this, guys. Okay. So this is the Anypoint Studio. So for writing flows and all, we can do here itself. Okay. So here, how many ways to write the flows? There is a different ways you can write the flows. So if you see here, there is a three parts are there: message flow, and then global elements, and then configuration XML, guys. If you see here, if you go for message flow, it's a designing view. So here is the palette. Mule palette is there. You can choose the whatever the connector you want. Just choose that connector. We can just drag and drop it. So we can just drag and drop that connect whatever the specific component you want to keep it. So apart from that, so there is a one more way to write the code. So apart from the drag and drop, there is a XML way. If you are familiar with XML code, then you can directly type XML code here. If you see here, whatever the connector you are going to drag and drop, okay, internally what happened, it will generate the XML code. Suppose you are familiar with XML code, I mean, uh, so you are familiar with Spring and all. Spring all supports XML way only, right? If you are familiar with that XML code, you can directly write it here. Why I'm saying here, while starting, while initial time, people will use drag and drop. So in a next level, advanced level, so then directly we'll go and write into the configuration XML actually. Why I'm saying here, why I'm segregating these two ways, actually from UK clients, if they won't prefer this Anypoint Studio, okay, so they have some their own editors, own IDEs also there. Like one of the IDE, that IntelliJ IDE is there. One of the IDE used by UK people, IntelliJ is there. So that IntelliJ should not support this type of drag and drop feature. Then how will implement your flows? So we should depend upon the XML way. Okay, here we need to, if you click Control Space Bar, it will clearly give the suggestions actually. Suppose whatever the connector you want to use, suppose here there is a AMQP connector. You want to keep AMQP connector, so you can keep it AMQP connector. If you select it, it will come automatically. So whatever the options you want to choose it, so there's a open and then close here. So inside whatever the things you want to keep it, so then again click it. What is that? Requeue name. Next, what is the documentation name? We get all the options actually. So like this also we can achieve. So that's a mostly it's a worst case actually. Generally, everybody will prefer whoever clients will prefer MuleSoft. They will use Anypoint Studio because so most of the plugins are provided by MuleSoft. That's why people will prefer MuleSoft editor only. And the worst cases we'll go for if you use any other editor. So that time what we need to do, we need to implement in the configuration XML level only. Means backend XML code we need to write it actually. So that too, uh, suppose initial level, if you are not familiar with XML, you can parallelly use this MuleSoft editor. Okay. So once you drag and drop here, you will get some backend code, right? That code you can copy paste it. We can use that actually. There is no restriction. See, you can use it actually Anypoint Studio, but officially we should write the code in the configuration XML, that IntelliJ tool. But parallelly you can use this Anypoint Studio. You can drag and drop it at least some days actually until you are familiar with XML. Then you can use same code there. After drag and drop, we'll get some backend code. We'll copy paste that. Suppose here set payload. I'm not aware of what set payload XML code. I just drag and drop here. I copy paste here, copy paste and keep it there. It will support. Apart from that, any extra thing you can use control space bar. We can add there. So, okay. So that is the thing. Either way, you can use design view or else either configuration XML view. Okay. So that is another thing. So coming to here, there's a, I'm trying to explain all the parts in the Anypoint Studio. If you see here, so this is the package explorer. This whole space is package explorer. Whatever the project you are going to create it, so the project will come and place into the package explorer. Okay, so that is a project. We'll keep that project into the project explorer, package explorer. We'll see the what are the parts in the each project. We'll see later. As of now, this is a package explorer contains all the list of projects. Okay, that is the thing. And so next one is this is a palette. This palette contains whole connector scope. You can see the symbols actually. First one is connectors. If you click this, all connectors will appear. If you want to search for particular connector, you can search here actually. Okay. Suppose the whatever the connectors you are searching here, the connector is not there. Then what we'll do? So it won't display all the connectors here. Suppose I don't have Facebook connector already there. By default Facebook connector won't be there, so I added actually, that's why it is appear here. And then I'm trying to keep it LinkedIn connector. Suppose here there is no LinkedIn connector actually. So for that what we need to do, so here option we can see it, so search exchange for LinkedIn. So there is multiple ways to add the new plugin. So you can say it's a connector is a new plugin, right? So if you want to add that new connector, so there is a different ways. The first way is search exchange for LinkedIn. I'm just clicking that. There is one more window will come like this, exchange. In the exchange, I mean, we need to we need to log in this actually. I already stored my user ID password. You can see here actually my name is coming up here top of this right side. So that's why directly it will log it in. But so it will first time it will ask username and password. What was that username and password? So here this is now you download the software here. There is a here we need to register guys. There is anypoint MuleSoft.com. So we need to register here. I already registered here. It's a free only. So just sign in here. You can see lot of options here actually. You can see the exchange, you can see the runtime manager, API manager, partner manager, access management, data gateway, MQ. This is what I was talking about actually. So there's an API manager. It's a trial version only. We can create our user, then you can use it actually. Okay, here I told about API implementation, right? RAML creation and all. So here we can implement it actually. So coming back to here, if you register here, Anypoint platform, anypoints MuleSoft.com, if you register here, same user, here you can use it actually. The exchange I'm talking about, right? The exchange, in the exchange, we can use same credentials. I already logged in, I mean multiple times I logged in. So user ID password, you can store it here. That's why automatically logged. If you see here, there is a connector called LinkedIn connector, right? So that by default it's not there in the Anypoint Studio. Okay, so there is an option called, so you search there, will come up with exchange. Then you can see here list of connectors with that whatever the you are trying to search, some of the string, right? Some of the string, like I just keep it LINKE. So with whatever the connectors are there with that name, you can, it will show list of connectors. Okay, so there is an option called install. If you click the install, okay, it will take some time guys. It will take some time. It will ask some agree kind of thing. So click next, next, next. It will install and then it will ask to restart Anypoint Studio. once you'll restart your Anypoint Studio, then this whatever the connector you install, right, that connector will come and place into the your palette. That is a one way to add the new plugin. So what was the other way? Other way is in the helper. So if you see here top, so we have so many options: file, edit, navigate, search, and then help kind of thing. In the help, there is an option called install new softwares. Click install new softwares. So choose here all available websites, all available sites. In this, we can search for particular thing. Suppose I'm just searching for server. You can see here it's trying to fetching all the information. See, you can see here I'm trying to add a new server. Suppose now I'm using 3.7.3. I want to update the server. So you can see here guys, community runtime and then enterprise runtime, two segregations are there. So here you can see list of servers, Mule runtime server runtime. So whichever you want, so select it, then add it. Like that we can add, this way also we can add new plugins. So one is through Exchange, another one is under help there is a install new software is there. So you can go there and search for particular thing, then we can add it, that one also. Once you selected this, you will get a next option, we'll highlight it actually. Click next, next, next. So then it will ask again restart. So then after once you done restart successfully in Anypoint Studio, then it will come and place into in your palette that whatever the new plugin. So that is a way to add a new plugin. Yeah, go ahead. Somebody asking something.
The second option,
Yeah.
yeah. The second option also, it's trying to get the server information from the website only, right? It's not within the your unchipped content, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. It's a similar way to in Eclipse also we'll add the plugins, right? So same way here actually. Second step. In if you are using any Eclipse or My Eclipse, how to add the plugins? Suppose by default the Tomcat plugin should not be there. So you have to use help new softwares. In that we have to add Tomcat plugin, right? So here also similar way only. But that exchange product is MuleSoft product only. So that is the not there in the Eclipse. So these people are implemented that one. Okay, so that is about palette. Coming to here, so there's a middle space. This is a canvas. We can call it as a canvas. In the canvas, we have three ways, three parts are there. One is message flow, another one is global elements, another one is configuration XML. So what we'll do in the canvas, so here is the implementation part actually. We can drag and drop the flows. So whatever the connectors you want, you can drag and drop here. You can implement accordingly. So whatever the business logic it is. So coming to here canvas, what was the parts it is exactly? What are the three parts? So first part is, it's a designing view. So once you drag and drop, you can see here. Second part is global elements, guys. So this is an important thing actually. So global elements. Generally, what is the meaning of global elements in Java or some other technology? So once you defined it, so multiple locations you can use it, right? So if you declare a global level, so coming to Java, if you declare a global level, you can use anywhere, right? Understood. So the meaning itself, it was saying like it's a global, right? So here also global element in the sense, suppose here I'm using a HTTP connector. Okay. So if you drag and drop HTTP connector, so guys, these are all connectors expect configuration. We need to configure it actually. The configuration we need to fill it, right? If you drag and drop HTTP connector, we need to fill the information, that configuration we need to do it, right? So that configuration, if you do it, that will go and place into the global elements. Why? Because here, if we want to use HTTP connector again in your flow, Understood? Again in overflow. So you already create a configuration called HTTP listener configuration. The name is HTTP listener configuration. By default, it won't come actually. I just trying to drag and drop one more HTTP connector. So if you see here, HTTP connector is a both inbound connector and outbound connector. So that's why here one more symbol will come here actually. It's a two-way direction. I will explain clearly later what is meant by inbound connector, outbound connector. As of now, we'll see the configuration. So double click on the HTTP connector. So there is a configuration window will open. In this, we need to add the configuration. If you see here, so whatever the existing configuration, come and place here. I didn't add anything here, right? So whatever the existing configuration here, that is coming automatically. So, but I don't want to use existing configuration. I want to use new configuration for this. There is a plus symbol here. So we need to click this plus symbol. We need to change that whatever the things are here. By default, this will come host as a 00. That is nothing but a local host. If you want to pay for remote, then you have to keep it remote host. Then port number by default will come 8081. Whatever the preferred port number, you can add it actually. So that way we need to configure it actually. Once you configure there, it will go and place into the global elements actually. So what it will happen if you define the elements in the global, you can directly here also you can add it actually global element. There is an option called create. If you click a create, so many things will come at actually. Suppose I want to create a database globally. So there is a database. Suppose I want to use some MySQL. Here is the MySQL thing. If you click this MySQL thing, so there is some other window will come, will define, will configure here. So that time it will come and place into here. So what was the advantage? Next time, whenever you are using MySQL connector, no need to write again configuration because that is already there in the global. That is a use of this. So means once you define multiple times you can use it. No need to define multiple times. So that is the use of this global elements. So coming to configuration XML, so that we already discussed about that about this. So there's a backend. Whenever you drag and drop that designing view, so in the backend what happened? The XML code will generate. If you are familiar with XML, so directly you can implement here. So that is a XML view. So that is about this canvas. Okay, so any questions guys as of now? Until now, you have any questions? Guys, anybody have questions?
No, we are good.
Okay.
No.
Okay, thanks guys. We'll wind up the session. I have one more session actually. So tomorrow same time we'll connect. So tomorrow Saturday, right? Yeah. So tomorrow also session is there. We'll connect sharp 6:30. So if you have any questions, so just go through it. Just configure the Anypoint Studio today. So then tomorrow we'll start the basic flow. So we'll go accordingly. We'll go ahead accordingly.
Venkat, small question.
Yeah,
So now we are using Enterprise Edition, right? So it includes Community Edition also, or we have to install separate both these editions?
No, same one. That's what here. Segregation, where segregation will come. So just now, if you go here, see here, I'm trying to create a project here. File, new, Mule project. You can see here, Enterprise Edition connector. I'm using Mule server as an enterprise. Okay.
Okay.
So coming back to the community, I will show you the community also. So install new software, available sites, and just search for a plugin server. See here if you see two types of versions are there. You can see the community edition CE.
Okay, got it. So whatever we want to use the edition, we can just select that edition and we can use it.
Exactly. While creating a project, while creating a project, we need to show the runtime, right? So the runtime server you need to show it actually. That will come here. Either you are using a CE or else EE, it will decide here itself. Once you choose that, if you see in the project, you can see here actually what edition you are using, what was the version you are using. In the project itself, it will come. Is that clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay guys, if you don't have any questions, we'll wind up the session today. So we'll join tomorrow. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you all.